If I went back to Australia tomorrow, there'd be a few things that I would be doing differently to how I did it in 2025. So let's go through it. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for a brand new video today. So, when I return to Australia, will I be doing anything differently? Absolutely. The main thing is work. So let's get into that. But before we do, give it a big fat thumbs up if you do enjoy. Helps out the channel a lot. Give it a subscribe if you like the content, and give it a share. So if you know anyone who wants this type of content, they can watch. Let's get into it though. So we're going to start by talking about work. How I approach work will massively change depending on where you are. So I was in Sydney for the bulk of my time previously in 2025. I kind of did a mix of online applications in person. So I occasionally would print off my CVs using Print GPT, which is a service at one of the little small convenience stores that you have. I would use that, and then I'd print off my CVs. Then I'd be walking around and going into businesses and shops and grocery chains, and I'd be just asking, "Excuse me, are you hiring?" And then presenting my CV, obviously looking a little bit more formal than in some dry fit clothing. Yeah, my success rate with that was appalling. I'm not someone who can put on a great facade and make myself seem more confident than I am. I ain't great at it. I'll give it a go, but I think people see through me the bulk of the time. So I would actually, if I return to Australia, just, unless I'm in like a town, like if I'm in a Byron Bay or a Wollongong, I actually don't think I will bother with in-person CVs anymore. Those ones are near enough for hospitality jobs only, from the way I was speaking to my hostel roommates. A lot of the in-person stuff is if you want a hospitality job, so like bar work or a barista or something along those lines. If you want a grocery store job, online will be your absolute best friend with that. So I think I'll go more on Seek, Indeed. LinkedIn doesn't really work out there. I mean, it works, but Indeed and Seek are definitely the two biggest job boards. I would say LinkedIn is kind of a bit pointless in Australia, to be honest. I mean, I tried going onto it and looking for jobs, and there is listings, but it's a bit hit or miss whether you find anything worthy of application. Then we're going to move on, and we're actually going to talk about finances. So because it was my first time in Australia, I did a heck of a lot of touristy things because I've never been to the country before. So I did the bridge climb, I did the zoos, I did the koala encounter, I did a lot of the touristy stuff, and I would not do that this time. I'd actually wait until I have a job and then do them. So if I wanted to redo them, basically. So I wouldn't actually be landing and immediately trying to do everything, which is what I did before, where you blow a ton of your budget up front. I would actually be holding off on the budget I have until I can get myself a job. And then I will go once I have an income entering the bank account. So that would be one of the things I'd do. Next, we are going to be discussing the location. So the location of where you decide to live is very important. Now, I'd actually start looking a little bit outside of Sydney. So Sydney is good if you want a hospitality job or a trade or something along those lines. But it isn't good if you just want a grocery store job. They're very hit or miss whether they're even applying for stuff. So if you want to work at Coles or Woolies or something like that, it's going to be very hit or miss whether they're even hiring in the first place. Obviously, the time of year is also dependent because very much like the UK, they will have hiring periods where like Christmas and Easter and around Australia Day, they'll probably do a little bit more of a bulk hiring just to get a little bit more temporary staff in for a big sale or something along that. New Year, Christmas, and spring, Easter are probably going to be the biggest similarities. But I might try somewhere else in Australia. I might go to Perth. I might go to Darwin or Adelaide or Tasmania. I do think I did a bit too much time in Sydney, to be honest with you, and I would love to explore more of Australia. So I'd like to go up to Cairns and potentially do Cairns a bit. But moving on from that, the final thing we're going to be talking about today is I need to stop taking domestic flights. Rather than taking a bus or a coach up to Brisbane, I decided to fly. So I flew on a Qantas flight from Sydney to Brisbane. And my gosh, it was horrific. I don't mean the flight was bad. The flight was flipping phenomenal. It was fantastic. But it was a waste of money, is what I'm saying. I should have just taken a coach. $70. The flight was about $270 to $90, I think I paid for that flight. So I need to learn how to commute the country a bit more via the rail and the coach and the bus. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up here. Thank you all enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what you think I should do next time I go to Australia, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.